Here are some of the papers that I made over the last few weeks, and what I thought I would do is to put them in my newish art journal book. So if you'd like to see what I do and how I use these papers, then carry on watching and all will be revealed. If you're anything like me, you can get carried away making lots and lots of textured papers on your Gelli Plate, and that's exactly what happened over the last few weeks. So you've got a few options. You can either throw them in the bin, you can give them away, you can just put them to one side and fill boxes and cupboards full of papers. I'll throw them on the floor like they've gone just there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them into this new journal. It's just a book that's got ideas in. These are obviously Gelli Plate textures and different ideas. A bit of painting going on there. I was looking at doing some more abstract work. Got a little bit carried away there. But what I've done here is this first grid using the papers that I showed you on the video, which I'll leave you a link for. It was the last video that I actually did. I'm quite happy that these are quite muted tones. I could put some more gold on them or put some more white on, but at the moment I'm just going to leave them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to carry on and do another grid. I do love doing grids, it's my thing. So I'm going to draw some more squares and then start to rip the papers up. What I have here is a little template which I can roughly draw around. Not got to be precise, it's just squares. This paper is quite creamy, so I'm quite happy with that, which means to say I can put some white on it and it will show through rather than putting white paint on white paint. You can obviously leave gaps where you want the white to show through. So there's 6 very rough squares. What I'm going to do is to start looking through my papers and building some new little squares like I've done here. This was just one sheet of paper which I ripped up. This was actually I think this was a ghost print. So I'll have a look through the papers. I'm not going to talk through this video. I don't know really where I'm going with it. I've got no idea what the finished page is going to be like. It could take minutes, hours, days, so your time is precious. And so what I'll do is I'll just let the camera run, put some ideas down, and I'll keep you informed of what I'm doing as I carry on with this project. So let's see what happens next. I've gone through the pile of papers that I've made over the last few weeks, and I've taken out some that quite appeals to me. I might only use little bits and pieces of it, and as I say, I don't really know where I'm going with this, but I think these will be the pieces of paper that I'll use, and I'm going to either cut them, rip them, and stick them down. So let's get started and see where we are going to end. So I will put some music on as I carry on. I always say the same thing, my taste in music is probably not the same as yours, so I try and keep it as low as possible. If you absolutely hate the music, then either turn it off or turn it right down, and I won't be upset, but then again I won't know that you've done it, so entirely up to you. So let's get started. So I'm going to let this dry now as you can see, I'm not really thinking about what goes where. I'm just ripping paper and putting it down. I'm liking the transparency of these papers. Obviously I started off by ripping this up, but whether or not it will actually make an appearance in the final piece, at this point I don't really know, but I'll keep all these pieces to one side. It still is in sympathy with what I'm doing, but at the moment I don't know where I'm going, so I'm going to let this dry, and then once it's dry I'll start having a rip up with the other papers, and hopefully can move this on some more. So we've got some nice sort of limey green, blue here, so I'm just going to try and keep in that colour family for the time being. Might need some accent somewhere along the line, so yeah, bear with me please. I've decided to pull out some black and white swirls. I've done this with a paintbrush and some black acrylic ink. This is on the same kind of wet strength tissue paper. This is on more of a waxy deli paper. You can find out how I did all these in some of the videos that I've done earlier on on my channel. This again is a different type of paper, so whether or not that will become transparent, I doubt. So I'll try and keep with some of these that are on the same type of paper. I do apologise if you can hear like a whirring sound in the background, but it's rather hot again here today. We're having beginning of July, and we're having a bit of a heat wave here in the UK, so I'm sat here with the fan going, trying to cool down a little bit. I've also got this here, which I might put a bit of an accent colour on. This is obviously green and blue, and the complementary colour for green would be red. So, and for blue would be an orange. So I could put a little bit of these on just to draw the eye a little bit to it. So let's see what happens when I start to cut this up and put it onto the squares. I still like these scribbles. I think I would like to keep those scribbles going, so let's see what I can do with this next phase. So it's often said that Turner, famous British artist, would sneak into the Royal Academy when all pictures had been hung and take in a little bit of red paint and put a little dab of red paint here and there. Whether that's true, I don't know, but let's see what a little bit of red would do. Oh, I think I'm going to put them there. I'm going back again to my photography days when we used to construct pictures. We were looking at what we would call noughts and crosses. I think other places call it tic-tac-toe. If you can imagine a grid there with 4 different points where the intersection of the lines are. If I just draw what I mean. So you have this, and the idea is to put the focal point usually in the top right hand side there. That's the most strongest, but if you put it in any of one of these intersections, it will kind of draw the eye. So you're looking to put a contrast in, either a contrast colour or more of a a black and white like I've got here, or you have something of a different shape. So I've got a contrasting colour here in the orange, and I've put them in the little sections here. So I think I'll stick those down and call it a day. Okay, let's let that dry, clear up all this mess. So, did it turn out as I expected? Well, really I didn't expect anything, especially when I started off with this piece of textured paper and ripped it into various different pieces and then decided not to use it, but that doesn't mean to say on the next page I could start with this and make sure I stick with it. I really like to do these little squares. This is in a newer book. Just show you, this is the book you may have seen before, but you can see that it's something that I really enjoy doing. And these are all the textured papers that I've used, and again you'll be able to find all the videos that go with how I've put these pictures, these squares together using the textured papers. So these are just some of the ones that I've done over the last 12 months. I really enjoyed doing that one, and here's some smaller ones. So this book was almost finished, and now I'm going to start in this one, and I'll continue to add little squares into my book, and hopefully you'll come along with me and we can find out ways of using all the textured papers that we make on our Gelli Plate. So until next time, thanks for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing that. It does help an awful lot. And share this video with your friends. And yeah, thanks again for watching, and see you soon. Bye.